Hi students, welcome to Garud Engineering classes. I am Professor Garud. This is the third lecture of analog electronics or EDC. In last lecture we had seen amplification. What is amplification? How transistor behaves in cutoff, in active and in saturation mode. Okay. Amplification means what exactly what? Amplification is just conversion of supply according to input signal. And then how transistor behaves like amplifier. Suppose output is 100 volt and from the input 2 volt, how transistor will operate that bulb intensity. We can replace that bulb with a resistor also. Now there are three types of transistor configuration. So common base, common emitter and common collector. So everywhere in three types transistor behaves like amplifier. Then which configuration should we use? Now first I want to tell you what about the amplification factor. The transistor is normally current amplifier. I will tell you how this transistor behaves. What is the current amplifier, what is voltage amplifier and what is the power amplifier. Correct? So here transistor is a current amplifier because input what we vary, that is a current, because we vary injection of the carriers and that decides the current. Accordingly output current varies. So transistor is a current amplifier and amplification factor of the transistor is the current amplification factor. So if we consider three types of configuration, if I say common base, okay, so for NPN transistor common base, emitter must be from the input side. Already I have explained this thing. Okay, so this is emitter, collector and base. Okay, what we do, we connect here supply. See how we have to maintain that flow force. It should be in downward direction. So it will maintain like this, and as I told, this is variable. Okay, we are going to vary the current, input current. What is that current? Current is IE. Okay, and this will give, here I can connect resistor, that is your bulb. Okay, and I can connect a big battery, that is if I say 100 volt battery. Okay, so this voltage, this current is connected at collector, so I will write RC. Okay, and what is this current? Current is IC. Then what is amplification factor? Amplification factor here, amplification factor. This is called alpha here. Amplification factor is alpha. So amplification factor is always output current upon input current, or AC amplification factor is change in output upon change in input. This is DC output current upon input current. Okay, so alpha is equal to IC upon IE. Correct? But you know, for the any type of configuration, emitter current is always combination of IB and IC. Whatever current flowing here is this plus this. So this is valid for all configurations of transistor. Okay. So here IE is always greater than IC. IE is always greater than IC. So value of alpha is always less than unity. Correct? So I cannot say it is amplifier. Correct? But yes, it will amplify voltage if I connect a resistor. So it is voltage amplifier, but it is not a current amplifier, because current here, current gain is less than unity. What is the property of amplifier? Amplifier, gain of the amplifier must be greater than 1. Minimum 1. Less than 1 is attenuator. It is reducing. If I give 2 volt as the input, 2 into 1 will be 2 volt. Then how it is amplified? Simple wire. Less than 2, if I give 2, and if I say multiplying factor is less than 1, then it will be 1.9 something. So whether it is amplifying? No, it is reducing, it is attenuator. Okay, so amplification, for the basic property of amplification, basic condition of the amplifier is what? Gain must be greater than 1. Okay, here this is not behaving like amplifier. Still I can write this here for presentation. For the common base, common, now I consider common emitter. Okay, common emitter I draw. Emitter is common. I told you how to draw this. Okay, this current outgoing, so this current must be incoming. So like this. This current must be incoming. So I connect resistor here, which is bulb, big part. So here I can present this current is incoming. What is this? This is collector. This is base IB current, and this is emitter. So we are not considering common. This is IC is incoming, IB is incoming. What is the amplification factor? Amplification factor is beta. Amplification factor for common emitter is called beta, which is output current IC upon input current IB. Got it? Now you know IC is very little and IB is very small. IB is very small as compared to this, and IC is approximately equal to I. IC and I approximately are same. IB is negligible. So here negligible thing upon IC. So this is very high. Okay. Here if I say common collector configuration will be collector will be common. This is collector. Okay, emitter. This is base. See, current is in downward direction. I connect resistor. What is this? This is IE. What is this? This is IB. So what is this? Amplification factor is gamma. Okay, that is equal to output current upon input current. Okay, there are again DC amplification factor and AC amplification factor. That I will explain you what is that. But still here this is basic formula. Now thing is what, when we compare all, so there must be confusion in your mind. Sir, first thing, why every time we use NPN? Why not PNP? So can we use PNP? Yes, we can use PNP. Then why NPN? Okay. Second, for analysis purpose, for the research work, we consider common emitter as a proper amplifier. Every time we do analysis on common emitter. We do some conclusion, we make some conclusion on this, on the common emitter. Why only common emitter? Why not common collector and common base? Are they not amplified here? Alpha is equal to what? IE upon IB. IE is having large value, IB is minimum value. So very large to very low is very high. So value of beta and value of alpha, if we gamma, we say gamma is greater than beta. Then also we use common emitter. Why not common collector? Why not common alpha? Alpha here what we can say less than 1. But then when to use this and this? If we use common emitter, correct? First thing I want to tell you, why only NPN? Why not PNP? We can use PNP also, but NPN is good for fabrication. When we design that on IC fabrication, so that is vertical fabrication. There we put layer on layer. Okay, so you will get that information in IC fabrication. So that thing is very excellent. If we consider N, we consider base as a substrate, and we over that we say put N, then we put P, then we put N like this. Suppose we consider base as a substrate P type. Okay, then we make a N type well, then we make a P type well, then we make a N type well. So this is base, emitter, and collector. Collector is wider than all. So this type of transistor, fabrication of this is very easy. If we use PNP transistor, P type is the base always. Now there is again question, why P type is base? Okay, so you will get that information in VLSI subject, everything that is related to the IC fabrication. But now if I want to manufacture P type, so what, already there is a P, so we have to make N type well, first N type well, then we can have to make P type. This is P type, then again we say N type, and then we can say P type. So P and P. Okay, so one more extra layer is required in PNP. That's why NPN transistor is very easy for the fabrication. That's why henceforth we will be using NPN outgoing arrow, PNP inside arrow, incoming arrow. Okay, so we will be not using PNP transistor. Now in real practice, NPN workings are same. Okay. So what we can say, we will be using NPN transistor. Now thing is what? Why only common emitter? So I give you the comparison of common emitter, common base and common collector. Before that, suppose if you want to transfer from one to another, then how you will transfer? Suppose you want to convert alpha in terms of beta. You want to write alpha in terms of beta. How you will present? So that is what conversion. Sometimes they ask for the 2 marks, or for the problem analysis and all, you need to know what is that. Like example, gamma equals to 1 plus beta. But how? Correct. Something alpha equals to beta upon 1 plus beta. But how? Correct. Suppose problem is given in alpha and you want to convert into beta. Correct, in common emitter. So then we have to write this way. But how? Is there any formula to do this? Yes, that is what we can say conversion. I will tell you the derivation of this, how to convert. If you want to convert alpha in terms of beta, what is the beta? Beta we need IC upon IB. Here, this is alpha, na? This is IC upon IE. Correct. But what we want? We want IC upon IB. IC upon IB we want here. So we don't want I. So I can present I. Here I write. I keep IC as it is. What is I? I is always IB plus IC. IB plus IC. Okay. Then what do you want? IC upon IB. IC upon IB. So divide both sides. Here we find IC upon IB. IB upon IB. Okay. Plus IC upon IB. So what is that? IC upon IB is what? Beta. So beta, what is it? This is 1 plus beta. Correct? So alpha is equal to beta upon 1 plus beta. So I write here alpha equals to beta upon 1 plus beta. Correct? Can you present beta in terms of alpha? We can derive from this side also. Otherwise, I can use same method. Beta equals to IC upon IB. What do you want? You want IC upon IE. IC upon IE. So you don't want this. So I maintain IC. What is IB then? IB is equal to IE minus IC. IE minus IC. Okay. Now what do you want? You want alpha, na? IC upon IE. So make IC upon IE divided by IE to the numerator and denominator minus IC upon IE. Okay. So what is IC upon IE? It is alpha. So it is what? 1 minus alpha. So otherwise we can derive from this side also. Okay. This is very simple part. Here gamma. Gamma is equal to 1 plus beta. I want gamma equals to IE upon IB. You want to present into beta. What is beta? IC upon IB. IB is there. You don't want I. So I can write IB is there. I want that IB. Okay. Because IB must be there. I is what? IB plus IC. Now you want to convert it to beta. So divide by beta. Divide by IB plus IC by IB upon IB by IB. Okay, IB by IB is 1 plus what is IC by beta? IC by IB is beta upon 1, that is 1 plus beta. Got it? So anyway, two formulas we have to remember. Suppose I take one example and that is very easy method to remember. What is that? Suppose if I say beta equals to 100. Okay. Then how to remember alpha and beta is very simple. You don't remember formula. I tell you what to do. Okay. If beta is given, beta is 100. Okay. Gamma is always 100 plus 1. Slightly greater than this. 1 greater than this. Okay. And this is what? Alpha equals to slightly greater than 1. So 100 upon 100 plus 1. So what is this? Beta upon gamma. beta upon gamma, slightly less than 1. Okay, so this is the alpha. Okay, so this thing is we have to here, suppose you want in terms of beta, alpha. Okay, then it is, what is it then? In terms of alpha, beta is greater in terms of alpha. So exactly we have to make a reverse, like 1 divided by, how you will write then? Beta in terms of alpha is done. Yes, beta, it is 1 minus something now. So beta equals to beta upon, in terms of alpha na, alpha upon 1 minus alpha, like this. Correct? This was the formula. So here actually, now here important thing I want to tell you. First thing, why NPN transistor is used? The answer is, it is easy for fabrication. In vertical fabrication method, it is good. So what is that vertical fabrication method? You will see that in very large scale integration subject, VLSI subject, that will be in SEM 6. Okay? But also if you want to see that, what is vertical fabrication, IC fabrication, you Google it, you can see. You can see the videos on YouTube. Second is what? Why only CE configuration is preferred over common base and common collector. So I give you the comparison. Common base, common emitter and common collector. Okay. So you will come to know that. What is that? You know amplification factor. What is amplification factor? Amplification factor is bit alpha. Amplification factor is beta. And amplification factor is gamma. Okay. Now important thing about this. There are, as I told last time, there are different types of amplifier. There is voltage amplifier, current amplifier. So I consider this. What about amplification factor? You know alpha is less than 1. Okay. Current amplification. Here it is high. And this is in medium. Current amplification is in what? Not, this is large, this gives you large amplification factor, but this will not. Voltage amplification factor. Voltage amplification factor is high. But this is here, voltage amplification factor is less than unity. This has got moderate. Okay. Now important thing about this, there is an input impedance, that I will tell you what is the input impedance and output impedance, and what is the input resistance. For any kind of, you must be knowing that in BW also, for any circuit, input resistance or input impedance or input resistance of any electronics gadget must be very high. Ideally it should be infinity. What about output resistance? Output resistance must be very low. Ideally it should be 0. So any gadget, TV, when we connect something, input resistance of TV must be very high. Cable, output resistance of cable should be very low. Then and then maximum power will be transferred. Okay. But you know maximum power transformation theory, here is something different. Correct? So voltmeter, input resistance of voltmeter should be very high. Any electronics device must have very high input impedance or input resistance and very low output resistance, then that is called proper. And here also for the amplifier, it should have very high input resistance. Suppose if I ZI say input resistance, common collector gives excellent input impedance. Here I write, common collector gives excellent input resistance, while common gives you poor, this is very low, and here it is again medium. Output impedance, it's very low, this gives you excellent output impedance, common collector gives you excellent output impedance. What about this? This gives you exact opposite. Okay, what about this? This is moderate. Now important thing about common collector, I want to categorize everything. Common collector, if you see, okay, common collector, if you see, if you see this common collector, current amplification factor is very high. Voltage amplification factor is almost unity. Where is it? Current amplification factor is very high. Voltage amplification factor is close to unity. Okay? Input impedance is very high, output impedance is very low. These four factors are excellent for impedance matching. This is not providing any voltage amplification. This is not providing any voltage amplification, but this behaves like a buffer. I will explain you what is a buffer, meaning of buffer. Buffer is a current amplifier. Suppose you got IC and you want to amplify something. Like suppose this is a transistor, like a LED you want to connect. And this particular IC supplies 20 milliampere. Okay. And my LED needs 18 milliampere. So whether this will satisfy? Yes, it will satisfy. Now, what voltage I want? I want 5 volt. So, okay, I manage that to the 3 volt. So LED works properly on 3 volt. It takes 18 milliampere. That is proper. Now if I connect one more LED over here, what will happen? So it will get 3 volt here because parallel voltage remains same. But what is the demand of this? That is 18 milliampere demand. But this will not supply. This will supply 20. So here what it will get? 10 milliampere for this and 10 milliampere for this. So what is the brightness of LED? It is somewhat less. Now if I connect one more LED, then now actually what we need, if I connect around 100 LEDs, then this IC will not satisfy even requirement of LED. See, it is giving voltage 3 volt. Then also LED is not blinking. LED is not glowing. Why? Because whatever the sufficient current LED requires, that this particular supply, this IC is not providing. For that, we will be introducing one buffer. Buffer. It has got supply. What it is current amplifier. How much current required? Suppose if I say around 200 milliampere is required from this side. So yes, it will provide multiplication of 10. But what? Current multiplication. Suppose input voltage is 3 volt, then output voltage is also 3 volt. So what is the unit? What is the voltage multiplication factor? Voltage output upon input is close to unity. But what about current multiplication factor? 200 upon 20. That is a 10. So it provides excellent current amplification. Now what about the input impedance of any circuit, whatever we are inserting? That must be very high. Output of impedance of this must be very low. So this particular CC amplifier is excellent in a buffer, or you will get, there is a question in exam also, why common collector is used for the buffer? The answer is what? Basic requirement of buffer is buffer should give very high input impedance, very low output impedance. Buffer must be current amplifier and voltage amplification factor must be unity. And the common collector will satisfy all. That's why common collector behaves like a buffer. But it is not voltage amplifier. Correct? We cannot use this for the mic speaker combination, our amplifier system. Why? That I will tell you. See, current amplification, this is high. Voltage amplification, this is high. But this is less than unity. Okay? So, if I want power amplification, here third parameter I want power amplification. You know what is the power. If you have a current, if you have a potential, and if you don't have power, that is useless. Power is the work done. Correct? Every time I give example for the examination, you have that much power, you have that much voltage to do some work. Okay? You can crack any exam, even get very easily. That much power you have, that much voltage you have that much potential. But while executing that is voltage. While executing that is current. If you take book of gate, that time you feel very difficult. You feel lazy also. Correct? So you don't execute. That execution is current. If you have good potential and you have execution, then we get a power. So power is a formula. Power is V into I. You must have voltage and you must have current. So what is the power gain? Power gain is the multiplication of AI into AV. So if we see this AI into AV, where is that? AI into AV. Here also AI into AV. See, but here, like you take one example, 1 into 1000. Okay, not 1000, 1 into 100. Here also you take 100 and 1. And here you take 50 into 50. Which one is greater? Here it is high. It is medium. Here it is low. Here it is high. It is medium. Here it is low. Correct? But when we consider power 100 into 1, 100 watt. Here power 100 into 1, 100 watt. What about power? 5 into 5, 250 watt. Which one is good for the power amplification? Common emitter is good for the power amplification. That's why here if I say as compared to this is low, this is high and low. Or we can say medium. But keep in mind, common emitter gives excellent power. Common emitter amplifier gives excellent power. That's why common emitter is used as an amplifier. We want power amplifier. We want work done. Correct? That's why common emitter is used for the always common emitter used for the any configuration for the amplification and all. Everywhere we say common emitter, common emitter, common emitter. Why? Because common emitter gives excellent power. Okay. Okay. Now I will draw common emitter configuration. See, common emitter configuration. C configuration we will consider. Okay. As I told, this is amplifier, so this will be stacked batteries. Okay. Now here, I want to see the characteristics of common emitter configuration. See, whenever we introduce any device, like a diode, transistor, ACR, FET, MOSFET, anything. So first thing we have to see, that is we have to see the behavior of that. Characteristics of the device. What is the characteristics? We apply variable voltage and we check response. Suppose you want to check your friend's behavior. How will you check? Continuously you will allow him to go through different situation and you want to see the reaction. Correct? So if your reaction is matching, response is matching, then you will be his best friend. Otherwise, whatever the friends we get in first standard, second standard, they will change. In fifth standard, they will change. In SSC, they will change now. Even in first year engineering and second year engineering, you can compare. Many friends were there, but now you must be having selected. Correct? Till final year, you will get some different also. How you check the behavior? How you check? You allow him to go through different conditions, different situations, and you want to see the reaction. Correct? And reaction, when reaction matches, then what will happen about this? If you want to see the characteristic of any electronics device, what to do? We always give different variable voltage and we see the response. Same thing. It has got some input signal here. It has got some output configuration also in common emitter. When we see the characteristics, we have to see the behavior. I have to apply different voltage. So see how I draw. I take some voltage and I need to make it variable. Okay. So how I make variable? I connect potentiometer and I can make this variable. Yes, by varying this pot, I can make variable input voltage. Correct? For the input side. Now I want to check different, I want to apply different voltage. So I connect here voltmeter, V inside, plus minus outside is voltmeter. I want to check what is the response, that is what we can say current. I can break the connection anywhere and I can connect current meter. Okay, this is base. So you know IB current is negligible. So this is microammeter. Okay, this current is IB. This is microammeter. Okay, this voltmeter, what is a voltage name? This is connected between base and emitter, VBE. Whatever the voltage it will give, that is called VBE. Now, whatever the V I apply here, now I want to check the behavior of this. So you know transistor, common emitter transistor, if you see here, NPN transistor, this is base, this is common emitter. Now you are watching, you are just you want to see the behavior of input part, you want to see the behavior of this part, base to emitter junction, base to emitter junction. This junction I am not using. Base to emitter junction, what is the behavior? It's like a diode. So this behaves like a diode. You must know the diode characteristic like this. Okay, so same thing we are doing. Suppose if we vary the voltage here, that is we are going to vary VBE, we are going to record IB, correct? So at 0.1 volt, what we get? Nothing, 0 milliampere, sorry, 0 microampere. At around 0.2, it behaves like a diode. So 0.2, nothing, 0.3, nothing. At around 0.5 or 0.6, some current starts flowing. Suppose if I say 2 microampere. Okay. So, and if I say 0.6, 0.5 or 0.7, something, I say 10 microampere. So what? Current starts flowing after 0.7. So there is a new voltage, you know, similar to the diode. Now thing is what? This should happen for some stable output. Whatever you are taking, that time, whatever you are checking the behavior, that time this particular part should be stable. So what is this? This is V collector and emitter. Okay, this is V collector and emitter. So that time I should say, in first case I should say VC equal to 5 volt. I say here VCE equal to 5 volt. Now next time what I will do? I will vary this VCE equal to 10 volt. I will keep this stable throughout the experiment. Again I will take new experiment and I want to check this. Okay. Again I will perform same. I will vary from very low voltage to very high voltage and I will record that. So suppose at 0.1 nothing will happen, 0.2 nothing will happen. Something here we get some record. But whatever the record we get, here some current starts at 0.6 volt. 2 microampere. Or something at 0.7, 10 microampere. Here at around 0.7 volt, we get around 15 microampere. So it starts early. This starts early. And this is also called early effect. Correct? So what is the behavior if you want to record? What we are varying, what we vary, we keep that on always on x-axis. We are varying VBE. We are varying VBE. What we check, that is the response should be on y-axis. This is micro. So in first case, if you see 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, nothing will happen. After some time, current starts flowing when VCE equals to 10 volts. Sorry, this was for the 5 volt. Okay, even we can start from 0 also. Next time what will happen? Same happens, but something we get early effect. Like this. This is case 2 when VC equals to 10 volts. Correct? So more and more voltage if you vary slightly, this will give the deviation. Correct? Actually VCC should be stable. But this also output, whatever the current is also somewhat dependent on supply voltage. It shouldn't depend. It should not be dependent on this, but it is depending on this slight variation we get. This is called early effect. Okay, this is what we can say input characteristics. Now I want to show you the output characteristics of this. So it is behaving like a diode from input side, and from output side if you want to check, then we need to connect meters from output side. I need to connect voltmeter here. Okay. Also I want to make this variable. Okay. Maybe V2. Okay. What is this? This voltage is between collector to emitter. This is your VCE. Current meter I can connect anywhere in the series. This is something very high, so that is as compared to this. That's why this is in milli. This is milliammeter. This is milliammeter. Okay. So here this current, whatever current flowing is IC, collector current. Okay. So what we record? We record variable voltage VCE and response, that is IC, for input part stable. Now thing is what? We have to keep input part stable, but this is current device. To maintain this particular stable, we have to maintain input current stable. So in first case, I say something IB equals to 10 microamperes. We have to maintain the IB stable and we have to keep on varying this. Okay, so this is what, so I tell you about this, what happens to this. There you go. So you know multiplication factor, this is current multiplication factor. I say beta equals to 10 if I say. So IB equals to 10 microampere. What will be the IC? 10 into 10, 100 will be the IC, 100 microampere. Okay, now see, I tell you one example. What happens to this? From input side, this is from the input side. This is, I should say, demand. And this is, I should say, supply. Okay, suppose somebody is demanding some money from me. Okay, so my multiplication factor is 10. Somebody is demanding 1. I have to supply 10. Somebody is demanding 2. I have to supply 20. Okay, but from where I will supply? I will supply from bank. Suppose in my bank there is 1 lakh. Okay. Otherwise, in my pocket is my wallet, is my bank. From that wallet, I have to supply. Somebody says 50 into 10, 500. I have to supply 500 from my wallet. Okay. So now what I am doing here, I am varying the supply, means I am varying the wallet. Input demand is fixed. Now you tell me what will happen. Suppose somebody is demanding 10. My multiplication factor is 10. I have to supply 100. But I am varying my bank. Suppose my wallet is having 10 rupees. How much I will give? See, demand is 10. I have to multiply by 10. So actually I have to supply 100. But my wallet is having, first I am having 0 rupees. Then what will happen? I will give 0. Suppose my mother keeps 10 rupees in my wallet. Then how much I will supply? Demand is of 100. But I cannot supply 100 because my supply is only 10. So I will give that 10 maximum. Challe. Now suppose wallet supply is varied to 50. Okay, I will supply 50. Why? Because demand is of 100. Wallet rupees 100. In my wallet, there is 100 rupees. How much I will supply? 100. Now my mother keeps 500 rupees in my wallet. How much I will supply? This is very interesting. Demand is of 100. My wallet is having 500. How much I will supply? I will supply 100 only because demand is satisfied. If your demand is less and my bank is having more money, I cannot. कोई मांगता है 100 रुपीज या कोई मांगता है 1000 रुपीज, मैं बोलता हूँ मेरे बैंक पे 1 लाख है, जा लेके जा. It is not practically possible. How much is the demand? And if you wish to do that, fulfill that, then you will supply that demand. Okay. So same thing happens. Suppose demand is 100 microampere, that is 10 into 10, output is 100 microampere, and you are going to vary supply. Suppose you keep supply 0, no current will be flowing. Suppose you increase supply to 5 volt. It's a supply. I am not varying from 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. It's a supply. It's a high voltage, something 100 volt here. Okay, 5 volt. So suppose it is giving 10 microampere. Then 10 volt, it is giving 90 microampere. Correct? I slowly vary. Around 11 volt, it is supplying 100 microampere. See, demand is satisfied. Now if I make this 12 volt, it can supply more current, but demand is less. So it will supply 100 microampere. Suppose if I make this 15 volt, then also it will supply 100 microampere. If I make this 20 volt, then also it will make around this. So what will be the characteristics of this? You can see. Suppose this is output current IC, and what you are varying? You are varying this VCE. Okay, and your demand is this much, like 100 microampere. This is in microampere. If I say, it should be in milliampere, correct? Or if we can say 0.1 milliampere. Suppose here I write 100 micro equal to 0.1 milliampere, and here I write milliampere. This is 0.1 milliampere, this is 0.2 milliampere, like this. So what will happen? Suppose you go on increasing your VC 5 volt, 10 volt, like this. So output current will increase, when it satisfies the demand. After that, even if you vary the voltage, it will not increase current. So this happens for IB equals to 10 microampere. This is case number 1. What happens to case number 2? Similar, I can make around 20. So it will stable at 20, 200. So same thing, if I make this, suppose 200, like this. When it reaches to 200, it becomes stable. This is for IB equal to what? 20 microampere. So this is what we can say characteristic. These are the output curve. So if we see the input curve is it will behave like this. It's like a diode, correct? And output is like this. So this particular thing is called saturated. After that, you cannot supply. So this is something behavior of transistor. This is theory lecture. So enough for this. You just revise this. This is very important concept. What we have to see this in characteristics. Why do we require characteristics? Whenever we apply this anywhere, that time we must know the behavior. Okay. That's why we have to see characteristics. What type of characteristics we want to see for the transistor? We have to see both for input and for output. We have to see both the characteristics. What question they ask in exam? They ask explain CE configuration and its input output characteristics for 10 marks. Okay. So what to do for the characteristics? We have to draw the circuit. See, circuit is very simple. Voltmeter should be connected across. Current meter should be connected in a loop. How to give name? That is voltmeter is always presented with 2 letters. Current meter is always presented by single letter. This current meter gives you IB. Okay. And here also voltmeter is VCE. This is IC. Correct? This is very small. That's why we have to present in micro. This is as compared to this, it is large, around 10 times, 20 times multiplied. That's why it is presented in milli. When we present input side, that time output side should be stable. So what is that? VC equal to 5 volt, 10 volt. You take the reading, and from the input side, it's like a diode. Okay, so it will turn on at around 0.7 volts like a silicon. Correct? What we have to do? We have to vary voltage for any characteristic. We have to vary voltage and we have to check the response. Correct? That is what we have. We have to vary this and we have to check this. Correct? And that is we have to repeat for the different output part. For output part, we have to keep input stable. But what to keep stable? We have to stable. We have to make input current stable. Why? Because this is current device. Okay, because by varying current, output current will vary. So we don't want that. So we maintain some stable current around 10 microampere, 20 microampere something, and we vary this so that we will pay attention here. Even though we vary this, we have to check here. We have to maintain this 5 volt, 10 volt like this, correct? And at that time we have to check the current. So you know, when demand satisfied, current will be stable. That condition is called saturated current. Here, if you see the characteristics of and this particular portion is called saturated portion. Correct? Below this, suppose like if I say input current is 0, what will be the output? Nothing will happen. Input current ही नहीं है तो output भी current नहीं जाएगा. So this particular region is called cutoff region. This region is called cutoff region. What is this? In between that, there is this particular region is called active region. Transistor is always operated in active region. So this I will explain afterwards. This output characteristics I will explain properly. Where is the cutoff? Where is the saturation? Where is the active region? Where is the load line? Where is the DC load line we have to select? We will work on this. There will be one lecture on this complete. But today this is what we can say theory part. So I will not I will not stage that more. So in next lecture what I will do? I will treat this amplifier, treat this as an amplifier. Means what? I will connect here mic. Okay. I want to speak. I want to use here. I want to check. Okay. I will speak here. And here I will connect. This is supply if I say. So I will connect here speaker. This is supply. And I want to check whether this is amplifying properly or what. This is amplifier now. So I will give input sound as an input. And here I will check whether you are getting amplified version of that or what. If not, then what correction we have to do? That is called proper amplification, or it is called faithful amplification. What are the conditions to have a faithful amplification? Once we get amplification, we will modify that circuit. We will make simplified version of the amplifier and we will perform mathematical operations. Okay? Then your mathematical part will start. This is theory part. This is the transistor. You are electronics engineer, you are instrumentation engineer. Your fundamental things must be clear. Correct? And now you know, next to this decade and next decade, this is electronics decade completely. So there is a huge invention, huge requirement in electronics and instrumentation field. Correct? From this year to within 2-3 years, electronics branch will be the number branch, highest demanded branch of the world. Okay? So your fundamental things, I will clear that. Okay, so for today, this is enough for today. Remaining part I will cover in next lecture. Okay, till then, bye.